So yeah, Sean Penn says that President Trump is the enemy of Americans, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and every new child born, an enemy of mankind, an enemy of the state. What? Dude, there's so many people that love Trump. First of all, it's crazy that I can say this to you, but I can. I was an enemy of the state. I actually think I could speak on this more than you. People love Trump. He's much more likable than any of the other candidates. He's just an enigmatic person. He's funny. He speaks from the hip, and people like him. He's not a perfect person, but they do. People, when they hear me say that, they call me a name. This one guy said I was a moron, and then he insulted a couple of things in my career. Like, he had to double down. Like, he wanted to attack me personally. I didn't say anything about him. I just said my opinion about somebody else. So what does that tell you? So how is Trump an enemy to any unborn baby when he's literally trying to make more babies be born responsibly? It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. How are all these New York tough actors so scared of Trump? And why are comedians not? What is that? What's going on here? Aren't I supposed to be the bitch? Like, come on, man. Like, do you think I give a f-? Hollywood is so done. And I'm going to have this guy on. He'll talk about it. It's like, what is cool? Like, it's just like Dennis Quaid is cool. He went against the establishment. He'll probably be looked upon a certain way. And Sean Penn's a legend. But all these guys that act like, oh, they're so like progressive. It's like, nah. It's virtue signaling. It's virtue signaling. Like, I'm laughing at this point. Like, there's gonna be two worlds. There are people still care about Hollywood and people that just, I don't know. How many new sitcoms are there? I see 2 new shows. I see 3 new shows. One with Caitlin Olsen, one with Josh Jackson, and one with Reba. And that's it. I don't see any other new shows. Any movies making waves are independents, and they're fighting through. But, like, an enemy of the people. I guess I'll say this before I go. But I'm going to ask about Project 2025. Okay, this is from Newsweek, so it's going to be left-leaning, which is not fair. So people freak out about this 2025. So let's look what it is, so we can all be on the same page here. This big, scary thing of Project 2025. At its core, Project 2025 aims to return the United States to a path of conservative governance, emphasizing limited government. Who wouldn't want that? It's the hipsters in the... I don't get it. Why hipsters want more government. Can you explain this to me? You don't want the government on your body, but yet you want more government. It says limited government, personal responsibility, and traditional American values. Okay, so you have to wonder what those are. That project envisions a government that prioritizes traditional family stability, national security, the economy, and the dismantling of the administrative state. Among the key goals: unified conservative governance, establishing a cohesive approach to managing federal agencies and implementing conservative policies. Here, let's take some bullet points. Pro-family tax policies, implementing tax reforms that eliminate marriage penalties and provide support for families with children. That seems okay. Education, promoting school choices and parental rights in education, so that parents have a greater say in educational standards around their children's schooling. So far, so good. Social issues, addressing issues such as pornography, gender ideology, and other influences that many in the conservative movement see as harmful to children's development. What's the issue? No kids should see any of that. 18 and above. Are we all on the same page with that? Another key focus is reducing the size and power of the federal bureaucracy, rolling back unnecessary regulation that stifle economic growth. Okay, what's that? Why is that a problem? Shifting power away from Washington, D.C. and returning authority to states and local governments. Again, local. You want local produce? Why not local government? Implementing reforms to increase transparency. Again, what's wrong with that? Transparency. Don't you want to see if you're being fucked or not? And accountability within federal agencies. Defending national sovereignty and security. Underscores the importance of protecting America's borders and ensuring national security. The report calls for strong policy to defend against foreign and domestic threats. Border security, strengthening borders. Military strength, ensuring that the U.S. military is adequately funded. Cybersecurity, enhancing securing individual freedom. First Amendment rights, defending free speech and religious liberties against threats. Second, ensuring the right to bear arms and upheld. Data privacy, implementing policies that protect. Oh my God. What's the issue? What is the issue? If you're a liberal, you'll find a problem with it. Your day's not happy unless you're in an argument. Like, what is the problem? It sounds like they just want a fundamentally sound, smooth running, transparent machine, less government interference, more common sense policies. They want to cut down on that deviancy too. Like, you can still date, you can still be single, you can still hook up with different people, you can still identify as whatever you want. They're probably just gonna keep some stuff away from kids, and I think that if a kid should not be involved, 18 and above. I don't know. I don't know all of it, but so far I don't know. Here's what I want. The first thing I want is honesty. I think we have to unearth all the bad things that are happening, and it seems like it's happening. And I think we have to fix the dirty problems. And then we have to focus on what we have to focus on. I think I like the idea of local. I like the idea of little communities. Like, if there is a little Venice government, like Venice is a great community. Los Feliz is a great community. There's different communities. Like, it's cool. Like, Venice prides itself on its little community. You know what I mean? Well, good. Then they should, within that community, pay within their taxes to get those roads right. You know what I'm saying? And they keep their boardwalk, and they keep the crime down, and they keep their area and their restaurants afloat, and it's local. They have local market. I like to use Venice as an example because it is a little beautiful community within the Los Angeles family. And I believe people should live their life the way they want, as long as it's legal and has a moral code. Obviously, everyone's morals are a little different, but my moral code would be that you should have a gay pride parade you could have one every 2 months. Beautiful gay pride parade. And you can bring whoever you want, as long as it's happy and it's festive and everyone is clothed. And you can have Mardi Gras every 2 months if you want. And it's the same apply. It doesn't have to do with sex or gender or any of it. And if you want to bring your family, that's great, as long as it's family friendly. And that means no sexual innuendos. None of that stuff. That's all. And if your child feels a certain way without the pushing of the parents, and they just want to express themselves, then let them be. Let them do what they want. Let them explore their own fun. Meaning, there's boys that like to wear dresses. Sure, go for it. But I don't think that they should be on hormones. Again, I'm not a parent. That's my just personal belief. Wait till they grow. It's my opinion. Is that going to be taken down? That's all. Let kids be free. Let them run in a basic space of just fun, youthful exuberance of wonderment and excitement. Keep everyone else's ideas and beliefs out of there. And it shouldn't be in the schools. That's all. I mean, when I went to school, I was commandeered by nuns. They over pushed the religious stuff. Yeah, it annoyed me, but I had common sense enough to know. We just grew up in Philly, so we just knew, like, okay, this nun's a little extra, and that priest is a little fruity. So if there was a teacher today that was rocking those pride flags left and right, and we'd be like, all right, well, he's a little extra gay. We know, you know what I mean? Or, okay, that's our teacher. That's a man that's transitioning. We would know. We knew at a young age who was already pushing agendas and not. But I was around it too. It was just more religious. It wasn't gender or things. So you can argue that the religion was too much, you know. But you could say, people say I'm brainwashed because I saw too many like abortion films in Catholic school, which I did, and it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I think, you know, abortion should be legal. You can hear that from me. But up until a point. Sorry. It's just not going to be carte blanche. I'm sorry. The first, you know, owning a gun should be legal, but not carte blanche. We shouldn't own rocket launchers. You know, everything is nuanced here, okay? It's pretty simple. If I don't want you to get an abortion after 6 months, I'm not taking away women's rights. I'm just protecting an unborn child, okay? And I'm allowed to say it. So there's many things, but you could say that Madonna saved a generation, even though I don't know what she's up to now, but I think she still is. But at one time, Madonna was the biggest star in the world, and it influenced not just on girls, but boys, me, a whole generation. Madonna was a sex symbol. Her music was hypnotic, and every girl wanted to be her, and every boy wanted to like hang out with her. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, she's hot. But Madonna, I just remember Live Aid and AIDS and Kurt Loder on MTV, and AIDS was everywhere in my youth. It was AIDS. AIDS was the biggest thing of the 80s and scared the out of me and my friend group. And so what? This generation, we were raised like we still didn't not hook. We all hooked up. Like, you know, we were all, you know, always, you know, trying to mac on girls, but we wore condoms. We took protection. So you could argue that Madonna helped raise a responsible generation, even though I'm not defending Madonna. I'm just saying there's influences. So if you can say I was like raised super Catholic one way, I was raised by Madonna another way, and then she was like, she was like sell sex, but then be responsible. So MTV did that. So I don't know if they meant to do it, but maybe the condoms weren't good. I don't know. What am I trying to tell you? I don't know what's up with 2025. Do what you want. Here's my belief. Just use common sense. One answer is not going to be all. You can be a different gender. You can be a different sexuality. But it's okay. There's people that's going to push back and question. Educate people. You can own a firearm. But, you know, let's use it responsibly. Obviously, foreigners can come into our country. Let's just make sure they're all vetted. If there's another pandemic, let's just talk about it. Make a big pharma company responsible that they could be sued, or don't mandate it. You know, like, that's all. We just want simple things. Appreciate you listening. If you listen, God bless. Like, subscribe. We're getting 100,000 soon. Let's go.